In the very poor maneuver groups, and we can see the resistance, but it's a lack of the fulfillment of the maneuver. We have to keep in mind all the time that the horse and rider must fulfill the basic requirements of the maneuver first. Without that, they're on the negative side of the judging scale. That's what makes it the -1. This is another example. The horse never gets committed to the ground, is very bracy in the bridle, gaps his mouth, wants to bob his pole in and out from behind and over the bridle, but it's really the lack of control and lack of maneuver fulfillment that's occurring, making it a -1. In this example of the stop and back up, you've got the exaggerated slow around the middle, the squirt to the stop, and the bracy proppy front end. All of those are different resistant functions, and then the short little spurt of just being tugged for the backup. The entire maneuver is what the judges have to evaluate, again making it a very poor or -1 maneuver. And in this maneuver example, we can see when the horse goes to the ground, he's in good shape, but then he actually trips and stumbles over his own front end, has a big pause at the end of that stop to try and gain his composure, and then when asked to back up, you've got that gaping of the mouth and the resistance in the pole, and it's that resistance that is going to make it a -1. The correct stops. And again, correct comes in a lot of different forms, but in this case, the approach is correct, the stop is correct, the backup is correct. It's not earning credit, but it's not offending a general either, makes the entire maneuver an easy correct or 0. In this example of a run around the arena and a stop and hesitate, it's fulfilling all the basic requirements of the maneuver itself. When asked to stop, the horse's haunch goes to the ground, the front end stays soft, stays in contact with the ground, head's right out in front of him, staying in balance, and it's time to just stand up and hesitate, and all done without offending a general nor earning credit, leaving it as correct. Another example of a correct stop and backup. This is a great example of a correct one, and it's easy to say that it's correct because what you can't find is the two big categories. It's not earning credit, but it's not offending a general. It leaves it in that basic correct category. All the requirements are fulfilled. Another example of a correct stop, the run around the arena is correct. It's time to speed up, done so in a correct fashion. We'll see a little bit of resistance in the bridle. Where do we see it? In a gapping mouth. But and this is a great example of where you have the verge of earning some credit with some resistance of gapping a mouth, and yet you have to come up, the judges have to come up with an overall score. The good takes away from the bad, or the bad takes away from the good, and leaves it with a correct or 0 score. In this example of a very good stop, you can see the dynamics through speed control, degree of difficulty, smoothness and finesse, complete control throughout the entire course of the entire maneuver. From the point that this horse enters the arena, that's the point by which he's being judged, he's under complete and absolute control every stride, climaxes with a great stop and a great backup, leaving the entire maneuver very good or a +1. Another example of a very good maneuver, very good stop, making this a +1. You can see the run around the arena is correct, but the quality and the credit earning begins to come out when this horse begins his approach, is under complete control, high degree of difficulty, tremendous amount of dictation of authority with finesse and smoothness, leaving the overall maneuver as a +1 or very good. Another example of a very good or +1 maneuver. And in this maneuver, the run around the arena is correct, it's average. It's from the acceleration onward that we see all of the credit earning situations in the athletic dynamics of being under control and giving us all of that smoothness and finesse, and the backup just compounds it all the way through. So if you had any doubts, you don't have any anymore, making it an easy +1 or very good judges score.